Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, we are going to see the control system components. Content of this video are basic control system components, input devices, sensors and actuators used in control system. Then example for control system. One is vehicle steering mechanism and SMPS control mechanism. So these are the things we are going to see in this lecture. Control system components. Various components of control system were reference input generators, error measurement devices, transducers, amplifiers and actuators. So the reference input generators were used to set the reference input. So this is the reference in which the output need to be generated. Then the error measurement device or error detector. So these are comparators which compares the input reference with the actual output, and the error or the deviation is measured through this error measuring devices with the help of the transducers. So the transducers here or the sensors where the feedback loop. So the output is sensed through this with the help of the transducers, and the comparators compares the output with the input reference, and the difference or the error is amplified, and then it is through the help of a controller it is allowed to control the actuators, which in turn controls the plant or the system to accelerate or deaccelerate to get the desired output. Now let's see an example for a control system. It's a closed loop control system. The example is automotive steering control. We all know to make a vehicle travel in the desired direction, so the steering wheel need to be adjusted based on the course of the course of travel of the vehicle and the road. So we all know in the road we can see the markings there, so white or yellow markings. So we can see two types of lines drawn. One is continuous line, white line you might have seen, and the broken lines. So this is the reference for the driver to travel in a straight path. So with the help of these reference lines, drivers keep adjusting the steering to keep the vehicle on track. So in this vehicle steering system, the desired course of travel is the line, the white line, and the driver, he steers the steering mechanism using the steering wheel, and thereby the changing the direction of the automobile. So the actual course of travel is being sensed by the help of the visual and the tactile measurement. So through the driver's uses his eyes, the visual is taken as the input, and he compares the desired course of travel with the help of the white line. He with the reference he compares the actual course of travel, and the difference is being measured, it is compared, and based on the error he adjusts the steering wheel. If the vehicle is little moving away from the white line, the drivers adjust it to its right or left so that the vehicle moves in the proper track. So now let's see a small video how the driver controls the vehicle. Here you can see when the vehicle, when the white line is the road has a turn, the driver moves the steering wheel so that the vehicle travels in the straight path. So as we all know that the roads were not very straight, we have then and there we will be having turns. So the driver has to keep track of this lines, markers, and based on that, keeping that as a reference, they need to adjust continuously. They have to keep adjusting the steering wheel to make the vehicle travel in the desired path. So here it is a manual control, and in case if for fully automatic or automated systems, so there will be in place of the human visual analyzing, there will be some form of sensors, and in place of the human there will be some controllers, some intelligent controllers will be there. So it takes decision based on the error, based on the difference between the desired and the actual course of travel, and it accelerates or deaccelerates depends on the requirement.
So another example, you can take SMPS control, switched mode power supply. So this is very common in computers, for our computers and other electronic devices. We use SMPS. So we have input the power supply what we have in our houses, in our institution. So from the EB electricity board we are getting 220 volt 50 hertz. So that cannot be directly fed to our electronic gadgets. So in order to convert the AC into DC and to the desired voltage, we have power supply. So this SMPS is very common in all electronic devices. So this SMPS is also an closed loop control system. Here we have the input is 230 volt. The 230 volt AC is rectified into high voltage DC, and then it is switched high frequency, using high frequency it's switched into pulsating DC, and then we have a high frequency Faraday core transformer. Then through the transformer it is stepped down to the desired level. Then we have a high frequency rectifier, and then it is converted into DC. So this is how the high voltage AC is converted into low voltage DC. Here the output voltage varies, depends on the load as well as based on the fluctuations of the input. So in order to get a desired output independent of the voltage fluctuations as well as the load, we have feedback. So here we have a feedback system. So using a voltage feedback, so the output is sensed, and it is compared with the with the reference voltage, that is a desired voltage. It can be at 5 volt, 6 volt or 12 volt based on the SMPS. And when the voltage is more than the desired voltage, then the controller it reduces the duty cycle of the PWM so that the voltage reduces. So if the voltage is below the desired voltage, in that case the controller increases the duty cycle so that the voltage increases. So this is a continuous process. It's a frequently it is sensing and it is adjusting it is controlling the voltage so that the output voltage remains remains a constant or near to the constant. So here in an SMPS control, we have a reference voltage reference voltage we have. Normally this potentiometer is used for that purpose. And also here the sensor, the voltage sensor also, it can be a potentiometer can be used. So a potentiometer serves both the reference as well as the feedback. So here the controller has controls the switching mode system, SMPS, that is the PWM mechanism. So to switch the static switch, it can be a MOSFET or IGBT. So based on the PWM, the pulse width modulation, the duty cycle, the output we get. So because of this feedback mechanism, the output is maintained a constant. So this is how the SMPS works. So here you can see the reference generator, then we have a comparator, we have a transducer or sensor, we have a actuator. Actuator here is the switching mechanism, we have controller, then you have a plant. So these all are the various components of the control system. So in general, if you see the components of a control system, here we have switches, potentiometers, tacho generator, synchros, sensors, relays, valves, pilot lamps, displays, contactors, servo motors, stepper motors, power and control circuits. So these switches and potentiometers can be used as a reference input. So the user can adjust the reference or set the reference by using the switches and potentiometers. So if it is a digital control systems, we can set the temperature or speed or voltage or current, anything, the desired controlled the output, the controllable output parameter can be set by using the switches. Also the potentiometer, if you have a gauge, for the slider, so using that you can select the frequency, or it can be RPM or anything can be selected, or it can be set, reference can be set by using potentiometer. So here the tacho generator, synchros, sensors, so these these acts as sensors. So apart from this, a lot of other feedback elements are there. Then we have valves, pilot lamps, display, contactors, servo motors and stepper motors. So these are the actuators, the lamps, the display. So these all are display devices. So that is for indicating, and these are the others, rest are actuators. Then the power and control circuits. Apart from this, we require power and control circuits, and these are the components of control system. So the reference books are Control System Engineering by Nagarath Gopal, then Industrial Automation Hands-on by Frank Lamp. So I hope this video was useful. Thank you.